Hello and welcome to the SeneSide Hustle 101. My name is Melissa Alt, and I am going to be walking you through a little bit about network marketing and the direct sales industry in general. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about SeneGence, which is the company that I found my home in. You probably have been invited by somebody that is on my team, a member of Team Senelux. And so make sure that if you have any questions after this, or you want to go ahead and sign up and get started, or if you want to find out more about these products, maybe you came for the business opportunity and now about halfway through, you're going to see a demonstration of what these products can do. And if you're like, I need that in my life right now, then make sure you contact that distributor who sent you and they will get you all hooked up. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to go into screen share and we're going to jump right in and we're going to pretty much fly through. I won't be able to see any questions, but I will come over to Q&A at the very end. And if you have questions, if anybody wants to talk at that point, then we will do that. All right. All right. Let's see. Here we go. We're going to flip over through Crazy Land into our goodness. Okay, so here we are, and I am turning on my phone just in case anything goes wrong, and I can't tell because I won't be just like happily scrolling along through the presentation, talking away while you can't hear me or you can't see or something goes wrong. All right, so let us get started. Woo, that is not where we want to go. Look at that. See how awesome I am? You too can have $1 million business. Clearly, you do not have to have it all together. Let's see if we can get where we're supposed to go now. No, we cannot. All right, that is so special. So we're going to do it this way, and I'm going to have to manually control it. How fun is that? All right, who am I? So I am Melissa Alt. I am a wife and mom to 4. I am a boss. And then some of the things I am most passionate about is training, coaching, and I love to innovate. All right. So there's my beautiful family and my adorable dog. I just turned 36. I've got amazing children, and it is very, very full. And then just a little bit about me. I am hopeless. But luckily, I have an amazing family that helps me keep it all together. And then most importantly and most relevantly, I am super passionate about women in business. And I believe that it can not just be a dream, but that oftentimes it is used to fund the dreams that are in our hearts. And a lot of times, a home-based business like SeneGence can be what allows you to make a difference. I am also a mess, which I've already demonstrated several times during this when my presentation went all wonky and crazy and all over the place. All right, so now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my career. When I joined SeneGence, I car qualified very quickly. I am what's called a Ruby Crown Princess, which means that in the first 2 years of my business, the first year I was Crown Princess, the second year I was Ruby Crown Princess, and that is many millions. And I lead a team of over 500 amazing women. And yes, we did our first million in only 328 days. I am also a Texas state leader, and that is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And it just means that I basically spend a lot of my time helping train other distributors, whether they're on my team or not. And then I was the Miss Synergy in September of 2017 and one of the annual nominees. And that is probably the title that means the most to me. And that is where you are nominated by your peers for spending time with them and doing things to serve them, though they are not on your team. And so you don't make any money off of that. This is not, however, my first rodeo. I did not know it, but I was born with like the soul of an entrepreneur. My first business I started at 18. It was soaps and selling at craft shows. And since then, I've always been selling something. I have done like all kinds of things. The most successful actually I guess it would be a tie between homemade takeout. I sure did have a lot of takers for that. I literally made homemade meals that people could pick up and take out. And then Lux in the Rough Jewelry was what I was building when SeneGence kind of dropped in my lap. I worked with gemstones and 14 karat gold wire, making, well, luxury that was a little rough around the edges. Rough around the edges is kind of a theme in my life. Yeah, that's me. I joined my first network marketing company at 21, and I have done like all the things. I was not very successful in some of them. And then I had some others before SeneGence where I was considered successful. I would put that in air quotes if I were to say it, but you'll hear more about that later. Training and coaching is one of my greatest passions. I absolutely love to get to share and motivate and inspire. And it's something that I am super excited that is well received. It's something that is a privilege to get to do. So I have collaborated with some amazing leaders within my company, and then I have created a lot of different things that I share and are prevalent throughout our company. A lot of these I worked with amazing leaders on, and it is, I guess that's just me in a nutshell. That's what I love to do. All right, so who is this for? This business, this industry, like who is this for? If any of these things start to describe you, if you have the spirit of an overcomer, you want to make a difference, there's things that you want to do to like change the world. And if you love doing things others can't or won't do, if you have tried a bunch of other companies in the past, or if you have a bunch of other small businesses, or you're always selling something, or you've got this list of amazing company ideas, if only you could be like Kate from that movie, The Other Woman, that ends up finding an amazing investor who takes all the ideas in her like idea factory of a brain and like turns them all into companies. You're like, I could be so rich if only somebody else could make all these things happen that are in my brain. That could be for you. And then again, these are super important traits. If you start to identify these in yourself, then we should definitely talk. If you're coachable and you're okay with like straight talk, if you have this secret belief that, you know, if you that you could do that too, if you're self-motivated and you're an adult learner, meaning you don't have to be dragged from thing to thing, you will take information and knowledge, absorb it, and run with it. If you're optimistic and positive, then this may completely rock your world. Now, I would be negligent if I did not talk to you right now about who is this not for? If you expect microwave success, if you have to have others make you do things, you get offended, or you aren't coachable, if you aren't ready to let go of excuses, even ones that are legitimate, and if you're not willing to invest your time and money into building a lasting business, if you kind of have a problem with people that are super successful or have a lot of money, and if you can't move past the idea of dividing your hours by your income right away, if you cannot take information that's provided for you, absorb it, and put it into action, you may be disappointed in your results. So, what would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? In fact, strike that. What would you do with an extra $500 a month? Would you spend it on your family? Maybe go on a vacation, save it, get a new car? Would you pay for your kids' sports and let them do different activities that right now are just kind of a stretch for you to do? Save up for a dream vacation to Disney? What is your dream? Really, right now, think about it. What would you do if you had an extra $500 net profit every month? Like, how would that change what you're able to do right now? What do you have in your heart that could be funded by a business that actually worked? So let's talk about a fairy tale. And this is a fairy tale that we hear very commonly. In fact, quite frankly, it's shared to us as like the way it is. And that is if you go to school and you graduate and make good grades and you go to college and you get a degree and then you get a good job, that you're going to work there and then eventually you will be able to retire. Unfortunately, for all too many Americans, that is indeed a fairy tale. And a lot of times you will work. However, companies, they don't necessarily have the loyalty to their employees, and you could end up fired. They hire somebody younger who will do the job for less. And that whole like working for one company until you retire with the gold watch thing just does not happen very often anymore. Instead, a lot of college graduates end up with debt. Or how many of our friends do we know that they went to school and they got a degree and they got a job that they loved and they got married and they had babies, and then they were kind of torn. Either they wanted to stay home with their kids and they couldn't afford it, or all of a sudden they found that the cost of childcare was like it didn't offset, wasn't offset by how much they made. You know, maybe they dream of being with their family and having like the white picket fence vacations, and they want to spend that time with their family. But in order to give their family those things that they desire to give them, they have to sacrifice all their time away from the very people that they're doing it all for. What if there was a better way? And what if we could rewrite that story? So I'm going to take you through a couple of concepts that I've been taught by some mentors and trainers and leaders and different business coaches and people that have been extremely successful and that I very much admire. And I think that these 3 key ways of thinking have definitely made me look at possibility differently. All right. So there are 3 things that like 3 different concepts. And the first one is you don't have to be brilliant to make it big. Okay. Let's see. So this is Henry Ford, and then that is Google. They have something very interesting in common, and that would be that neither of them was the first. They were not first to do it. They took it and made it better. So the world's first automobile was a Benz, and what Henry Ford did is he optimized it. He created the assembly line and, you know, took it to a whole nother level. And then Netscape was actually the first search engine. And I don't even know if it is up today. And then, of course, the best example, one which we have all seen happen, and that is MySpace. And then Facebook. Tom who? So the second concept is that you can use other people's efforts and leverage them. So this here is John D. Rockefeller. He is the world's first billionaire. Now let me put that in perspective. Now, I forgot to look up the exact numbers right before I started this, and I literally am just talking through this. I have no script that I'm following. I probably should have printed one out, but then I would have had to put paper in my printer, and I just didn't feel like it. But essentially, here is what I wanted to share. So 1 million seconds is something like, oh shoot, it's a certain amount of time, but it's like weeks or months. And then 1 billion is like years and years and years. So we think about billionaire, and that doesn't mean anything to us. We think, oh, there's lots of billionaires out there. But John D. Rockefeller became a billionaire back when like a steak was 18 cents. So when I say that this man had like a brilliant business mind and what he did was kind of groundbreaking, it had never been done before, it was like a really big deal. Like billionaire would be like a zillionaire now. And he said that I would rather earn 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And that was the concept of leverage. So for me, what that looks like is this is my team. And every month I am paid based on the efforts of all of those people. Here's the third concept. Where does money come from? It comes from people. It doesn't come from banks. It doesn't come from the mint. It doesn't come from the government. It comes from people. People have the money, and all you need to do is find a need and fill it. Robert Hollis is a network marketing genius that he's a little bit off-putting to some, but I kind of like him. And he said that if people decide that what you have is more valuable to them than their money, then they will give you their money in exchange for what you've got. Makes perfect sense. And so the more value you have to offer, the more monetary units you will be able to receive. Success is very simple. All you need to do is find something that people want and help them be successful, and the rest follows. So do you remember that fairy tale that we all learned? The wealthy do not teach their children that story. They do not teach them to go to college, get a good job, and that is the end of the story. They teach them concepts like those three, to think like entrepreneurs and to build lasting wealth. So let's set that down and now come pick up a different concept that we're going to look at. And we're going to just go through Marketing 101 really quickly. So basically, you've got a manufacturer, you've got a national distributor, regional, local. Your retailer, that's the store you actually walk into, and then we are the consumers. Manufacturer accounts for about 40% of the cost of what we buy, and then all these different steps account for about 60% of the cost. So this is a cycle. And anytime you can disrupt something like this, you are going to make a lot of money. So let's talk about Walmart. Walmart figured out disruption. And what Sam Walton did is he went to a national distributor and he wanted to buy products. And they said, no, we don't sell to local retailers. We sell to regional distributors. And he said, oh, gee, that is such a shame because I was going to buy 1 million. And they said, oh. And so they did sell it to him. And he put it in his store, cut out those 2 middlemen. And we all know, like, made a lot of money. How about Costco? They went all the way and replaced the national. They went, and now the consumer doesn't go to the local retailer. They go to Costco. Costco gets things directly from the manufacturer, and we can get them from Costco at wholesale. Lots of money there. Now, let's talk about Amazon. Now, we all know Amazon makes an absolutely insane amount of money. I think the amount of money that the guy that started it in his garage makes is more money like per minute than most of us make in like months or years. So what Amazon did is they completely cut out all of those, and you can go direct from the manufacturer to the consumer. Big, big money. So network marketing, we use the concept of disruption as well. And here's how it works. The network marketing company, such as SeneSide, is the manufacturer. They cut out all of that and all the marketing costs, and they go through us, the independent distributors. We buy from the company at wholesale. We sell to our consumers, our clients or customers at retail, and the difference is our retail money. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So this is the direct sales side of network marketing. So let's look at how leverage works with network marketing. So here's a girl, and she has friends, and she introduces them to the product. She trains them, and she supports them or offers them support. And then I'm completely realistic that one of those women who signed up, she starts buying from the network marketing company and selling to her customers. And she makes money, and so does the network marketing company. Well, what about you? You're the one that introduced them to the product, trained them, and supported them. Hey, you did that, right? So the network marketing company is going to give you a little bit. Now, as this concept plays out over time, you can see how you have spoken and shared with a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that are joining you that they were introduced and trained and are being supported by others. And yet still, you know, look, see, some of these are a little bit of money. Some of them are none. Some of them are big money. And, oops, sorry. My husband is texting me. He's overseas, and um, he's in Jakarta, and he had to tell me that he left his headphones at the other hotel. I'm like, okay, I'm so sorry for you. I can't do anything. All right, so moving on, let's look at something very interesting. Here's a man, and that is the man. He's a boss. And you've got him, and then you've got his vice presidents, and you've got some middle management there, and that is a lot of employees. So that is the way that most organizations are structured. And it's only about 3% of people that are going to be the ones employing the others, the other 97%. So let's say that's you, and you want to climb the ladder, and you want to go to the top. Well, the truth is that you're probably not going to manage to get to the top. By the time you work your way here, then the reality is that you reach a place with 97% of people that the only way you're going to move up is if somebody dies, retires, or gets fired, because you simply, those positions are filled. And this is a structure that we see everywhere, from schools, organizations, the military, fast food, airlines, government, banks. Like, all of these are places that have this structure where you have, well, basically, a pyramid. And it's very unlikely that you are going to end up at the very top. What if we just built our own pyramid? Why can't that be you? This is the multi-level marketing side of network marketing. Okay, so now we're going to set down that concept, and we're going to come talk about trains. So let's talk about trains, and let's say that you've got a train moving 80 miles an hour, and you jump in front of it. What happens? Well, a simple way to put it is the train will propel you. It will move you forward. You're going to go somewhere. The thing about trains that are moving 80 miles an hour is all you have to do to move forward is get in front of it. And trends are our trains. So when it comes to being sure that something might really work, if you find a product or service that, or even an industry that is capitalizing on a consistent and steady trend, then all you really need to do is jump in front of that trend, and you're going to go somewhere. So let's talk about the side hustle trend. Back in 2016, about 1 in 3 people, millennials, had a side hustle. Here we are in, actually, 2017 is the last complete year. So we're in 2018. The last complete year of data we have is 2017, and it's now half. Forbes said there's no downside to a side hustle. There are only benefits to building more than one source of income. When you receive paychecks from different sources, it allows you to take more chances in your regular career, and more income means more options, and more options equals freedom. So, what if you have information and an idea that is not limited, and you share it with your network? People are looking for something awesome. A side hustle, a true side hustle, isn't a part-time job. C. Gillabo, I'm sure I cannot say this poor man's name correctly, that was interviewing with, doing an interview with Forbes, said, "I'm trying to help people think not just about trading time for money, but building this asset that provides the potential for passive income. I see a lot of people who go on to make 6 figures or more from their side hustles. And once you go down this road, you never know what's going to happen." So let's talk about another trend, the anti-aging and beauty trends. It is a $250 billion industry. 84% of that is anti-aging skincare, and that is a $210 billion industry. And it is globally impressive and expansive. Oh, here's a fun side note. The number 2 company would be in the anti-aging cosmetics and skincare is L'Oreal. And this is Philippe, and he's actually our president. And he came over. He used to be a VP over at L'Oreal, and he is now very good at taking selfies, and he is gotten the hang of boomerang. He is pretty cool, and he is all ours now. So that's kind of fun. A fun little side note. He has definitely brought a lot of amazing information and ideas over from other amazing industries. So the anti-aging and beauty world is definitely a train that you cannot ignore. All right, so let's sew all of this together. We have these ideas and concepts about money, those first three, and we've got, our new knowledge of marketing and disruption, leverage, and now trends. And so what if we can take all of these together and we maybe have something that works a little differently? This is definitely the best gig out there. And it's the potential that you've got for earning income is not just a matter of getting lucky, and it's not some crazy pie in the sky. The amazing thing about it is that you can really do it. You don't have to be a fashion model. You don't have to be a star, an athlete to find success with something like this because of all of those things put together. It's not just the YouTubers and bloggers that are finding great success with SeneSide. All right, so everything that I've shared with you is about the network marketing industry in general, but we're not just average. I'm going to be honest. SeneSide is head and shoulders above the rest. So it is created and run by former distributors, and I cannot tell you how much that makes a difference when it comes to policies and procedures. They listen to us. They want to know what's going on in the field. This company was created by and run by women for women. It is privately owned. It's a family business. And it's designed so that you can get started with a very small investment, which not only helps you get started, it helps you recruit a team. There's no monthly auto ship requirement. There are no required kits. There are no minimum orders. And I love this. It's entrepreneur friendly. This is not a cookie cutter company. There are boundaries that keep it safe so that we can grow with longevity and security. But within those parameters, you can run your business thinking outside the box. You can put it in salons and shops as long as there's less than 3 locations. You can sell it in all kinds of different ways as long as you stay off of Amazon, eBay, and you use the online cart system provided by SeneSide. We don't have any sales quotas, and you have 6 months to place an order to stay active. And frankly, we have an unmatched compensation and profit plan. There is no cap on what you can earn. If you've been with a network marketing company before, then you've seen those little asterisks at the bottom of the compensation plans where just in case they were to explode or something got crazy, that they can cap it at a certain percentage. In fact, network marketing coaches literally preach to you to work so hard you max your comp plan. Listen, you can't max our comp plan. It doesn't exist. That's not a thing. There's no breakage. And there is compression. So if people fall out, everybody that's underneath them compresses upwards instead of being lost. There's also no situation in which your team becomes so successful that you no longer get paid on them. And there are no games. This is a very simple, people look at it and they're trying to figure out how to game this compensation plan, which I know because that's what I did when I first saw it. And it takes a little while to understand. It's not flashy. It's not a sexy comp plan. It is very straightforward. All of the manipulation and the games and the stacking and the this and that, it's all been eliminated out. Instead, it just simply pays. It is designed for retail and direct sales profit as well as multi-level marketing. And that is a critical difference. There are so many companies out there where really they don't want you so much to sell the product as much as to recruit. I am so passionate about finding a direct sales opportunity where you can earn a real income simply by selling the product because it's that good and it pays that well, so that you can support your business and begin to see profit and bless your family, whether it takes you a while to get the hang of signing other people up or not. There are people on my team and they make several $1,000s a month just selling the product. It is completely realistic to expect that within a few months, really, I'm trying to be super conservative. If you work hard and you make it happen, like, it's completely realistic to expect that you could be seeing profit, actual profit, much quicker than with other companies. The truth is that with most network marketing companies, you're looking at wanting to start to see a profit within a year of working. And with SeneGence, that I would be absolutely shocked if it took that long. I'm trying to be super conservative and not make any guarantees. You should always run away from anybody that wants to make guarantees. Okay, so let's talk about the products for a minute. They are nearly beyond belief. Not only is everything anti-aging, I mean, like, it's built into our products, even our cosmetic products. Waterproof/resistant. Okay, so now we say water resistant, but I'm going to show you in a second what, air quotes, resistant means. It has a sun shield. They are gluten-free. Like, I'm not going to read that. Look at all that. Fully non-comedogenic line. I have looked and I cannot find another line out there where everything is non-comedogenic. That's like not a thing. They last a long time. We are FDA approved, and all of the products are fully disclosed. There is not a requirement by law for cosmetic companies to tell you what all the ingredients are, but we do. And the thing that gives me the most confidence is that we have a 12-month empty bottle money-back guarantee, because it all really works. Think about that, a year. How much confidence would a company have to guarantee their anti-aging skincare for a year? Not 30 days, not 60 days, 12 months. So this is me, my arm, my tattoo with the concealer on it. And I've swatched foundations, blushes, shadows, shimmer shadows, concealers, and then done some pretty eye looks on my hand. And I'm showing you that they don't come off when you rub them. Oh, and now I'm dunking them in water. So when I say they're water resistant, yeah. Yeah, I'll just let you soak that in for a second. So you don't want to wipe, but as long as you're patting, it's not friction proof, but look at that. Okay, sometimes people freak out though. They're like, but how do I get it off of me? Don't worry. This is actually the most satisfying part of the video to me. Woo! And it all just comes off like butter. So that is the product. Oh, come on. There we go. Come on. Apparently I need to clip this. Come on, let me go back. Yes, presenter. There we go. Back on it. All right. Business that makes cents and dollars. So you can earn money 3 ways: through retail profit. Think of yourself as a brick and mortar. You buy from the company, you sell at retail, and the difference between the wholesale price you bought it from, which we have a sliding scale, the more you buy, the more you save, and then a special first 90 days levels so that you can get started a lot easier. We've got commission and then group sales bonuses as well. And confidential to those who have done network marketing in the past, I'm going to say some things really quick. I'm going to rattle them off. If you have not been in network marketing in the past, it may not make sense. That's okay, because those who need to, like, they'll get it, what I'm saying here. So we have lines, not legs, and you never have to build anybody else's business for your success. So yeah, no ordering games, no structure games, simple, straightforward money-making plan. If people are found to be placing orders under other distributors, you get terminated. No manipulation. Yeah. No end of the month pressure for you to order. Not for you to be doing that, and it's not expected that you're going to pass that along. And if you've been with another company where that was not the case, you will remember that stress and that feeling at the end of the month. You can make a steady, amazing income without recruiting. The way it breaks down is basically 2 demos a week will, on average, end up with about $2,000 in profit monthly, because our average demo with 5 women in attendance is about $500. And if you are ordering strategically, then you are making 50% of that as your retail profit. And 2 of those a week is 500, 4 weeks in a month. So just like an average, obviously sometimes it's a lot higher, sometimes it's a lot lower. I just did a online demo and took in $733 in orders from the 17th to the 19th. And you know, obviously, so then that was a little higher. And then I've done one where they're a little lower. And then this is really exciting to me. The compensation plan is not an elitist plan. Your rank like follows the like as you unlock lines, and not vice versa. Personal activity is key, and the company puts a lot of emphasis on your personal sales and your personal business, rather than just being all about team growth and team building and team numbers. It's very encouraging to me and exciting that this is not a compensation plan where a big chunk of the money is swept off and then divided amongst the ultra elite each month for these like leadership bonuses. You have access to what your team does, and either you get paid on it or it compresses, or if like you don't qualify for the structure bonus, then that's, you don't get that month. But it's not something where people are under an immense amount of pressure to hit like structure ranks every month to get like a $10,000 company bonus or share in the profits. That is not how it works. And if something like that were ever to be added, it would not come out of what the distributors are entitled to. It would be given out of what the company collects, if that makes sense, which, if you know what I'm talking about, I was talking to you. So a business that fits you and your life. If you want to build person to person, like this person over here on the left that's got her arm around her buddies, or if you want to build on social media, you can sell, if you own a spa or a salon or a store that you think it would fit in, as long as you have fewer than 3 locations, you can do that. If you're a lash artist, a makeup artist, if you are great on the computer and you want to sell that way, as long as you follow the guidelines. Here's a bunch of different ways that people are doing demos. We've got here a couple ladies that have gone into schools and they're set up person-to-person in-home demos. This beautiful lady is doing a video demo and selling through her social media. We have a vendor event, meeting for coffee. This is my friend Jenny at Chick-fil-A. She met up with a friend, and then people couldn't stop it, help but stop and ask about it. And then we've got amazing things happening. It's $55 to sign up. And we have the Fast Start program, which your sales can entitle you to huge bundles of product that are, it's incredible to get your hands on. And then the Jumpstart program lets you get a higher discount at a lower purchase rate than normal for the first 90 days. And we've got some amazing kits that are intended for business builders. There's a lot of business supplies built into that. That's where the high value comes from. But those are optional. They are not mandatory. All right, so here we're going to talk about teams and the way a lot of teams in SeneGence work that is very different from network marketing things you may have encountered in the past. A lot of times what will happen is, even if you talk to somebody who knows all the things, which of course none of us do, by the time you process, what you retain is like half if you're lucky. And then that person would, share what they know. And, then it's like 25% of the original. And it keeps going down until you get to a point where somewhere in that organization, there's all these people being signed up and they're just lost. It's very sad. So here we have Michael Phelps. And you may or may not know who this is. And all other things aside, he is an amazing swimming coach. And so the thing about it, the thing that makes the difference between Michael Phelps and some other swimmers, it has a lot to do with the coaching and the support, the structure. In the same way, when you connect to in SeneGence, you are connecting directly to leaders that they have their resources in play. In our case, we've got websites and Facebook groups and things where, regardless of where you are in that structure, you get to connect into the same source and take what you will of it. So you have access to 100% of the information. Woohoo! Isn't she cute? So you know how movie stars and sports stars, they make a lot of money? You know who else is making a lot of money back behind the scenes? It is their agent or manager. They are also ranking in the money. And what's interesting to know is that they are not the ones doing everything. They're the ones making the connection. And so you can't, it may be that you're not going to sell $1,000 every month, but don't discount the fact that you may know somebody who you can share this opportunity with, and they may come alongside you. And if they end up being the movie star or Michael Jordan of the network marketing company, then you also get a share in that. And that is pretty fun. That's that whole leverage concept. So here are two examples. Oh, here's our first one. Sometimes you will see an opportunity and you pick it up and you toss it back in like a rock that you skip across a pond. But somebody else might see that same rock and turn it into a pet rock that makes like $1 million. Or here's a piece of cardboard, which people have thrown away so many times before, and somebody else saw it and folded it up and made a window or a windshield shield that they then sold advertising space to and made millions of dollars. We're talking about a rock and a piece of cardboard. Sometimes it's all about whether you recognize what you have in front of you or not. So we've got a couple of different kit options, and I'm a big fan of all of these. Talk with your the distributor who sent you here today and look at what will work for you. These are the first one, I just call it the hustle and grind unkit. It just means that what you're doing is you're paying to become a distributor. It's an annual fee. And you get some business materials, and then you are going to basically share the products with your family and friends and collect orders to get yourself started. Or there is the a kit that focuses mostly on lip sense, which is just one of our products. I don't particularly love that kit, but it is there. And then these next two kits have an insane amount of value. I get very, very, very excited about them because they really benefit those that are looking to start a business. Like, look at that. Usually the high, like after the kits, after this opportunity you have to get these, the highest discount rate you can get on the product. So your highest, profit margin is going to be 50%, which is actually 100%. And this is 65%, which is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for hanging with us. I know that was a lot of information, both about the network marketing industry and then about SeneGence. And so we just wanted to say we appreciate you and you spending time with us. And I want to leave you with this. Forbes recently said, it has never been a better time to be a beauty entrepreneur. So if you are even thinking about or considering giving this a shot, what are you waiting for? Let's do it. All right. Now let me see if I can manage to get back over. Stop sharing. Let's see. Oh, but where has my, there we go. Sorry, I found you. Thank you so much for joining us. I am going to, let's see. I can see that we've got some friends on here. See if I can open up the chat. I'm only going to hang for, just a minute because there's a good chance that you are going to be talking to the distributor who hooked you up with this. And so, but if you do want to throw anything in the chat, I will give it just a second. And then I'm going to also hop over to the, I want to try to find where you are. Oh, that's what I need to do. Just in case. There we go. And open up that page. Let me make sure I am muted so that when I open it, I don't hear myself talking like 45 seconds ago, because that gets really freaky. And pull that up just to make sure there's no comments that I've left hanging. Okay. Yay, I think we're good. Awesome. Okay, so all you need to do is talk with the distributor who sent you. And then, of course, you can always, they can put you through with me. We can talk if you've got questions. I can't guarantee I have all the answers, but I can guarantee I know exactly where to go to get any that I don't have, which honestly, that's way better than knowing all the things anyways. All right. So thank you for hanging with me. And I cannot wait to see you on the team page.